This video will answer all your questions about Anaxa. Anaxa will be the new 5-star wind character following the path of Erudition. He will release in the second half of the patch 3.2. These are the materials you will need to pre-farm for Anaxa. These are his base stats, and these are his bonus traces. He will get 22.4% wind damage, 10% HP, and 12% crit rate, which are pretty good compared to the previous versions of his kit. Anaxa has now become a very decent character in terms of dealing damage. If you are going to pull for Anaxa, then make sure to top up with lootbar.gg, which lets you save up to 23% on every top-up. Wondering how it works? Let's buy some shreds right now. No complex steps are needed either. Just enter your UID and server, and you're set to enjoy your new character. Lootbar.gg is a trusted, safe platform because of their cooperation with Hoyoverse's routing partners. With hundreds of thousands of happy users and thousands of positive reviews, it's no wonder that many top content creators are using it. So don't miss out on these insane savings and get a huge discount on your desired character through my link in the description. Let's take a small overview of his kit, then we will go into his kit detail. Keep in mind that this is not his final kit, and all this information is subject to change. He will apply AoE weakness implants. He can increase the damage taken by enemies. He can provide 40% damage boost to the team or increase his own crit damage by 140% depending on the team composition. Starting off with his talent. According to his talent, each time he attacks an enemy, enemies will gain random weakness for 3 turns. Enemies with minimum 5 weaknesses will be inflicted with an effect called Qualitative Disclosure. Anaxa will deal 60% more damage to the enemies with Qualitative Disclosure, and he will also deal an additional instance of his skill whenever he uses basic attack or skill on these enemies. His whole talent screams Nihility. Moving on to his skill will deal wind damage equal to 80% of his attack to one enemy, and it will additionally deal 4 instances of wind damage equal to 80% of his attack to random enemies. For each target present on the field, the skill will deal 20% more damage. This skill will now deal good amount of damage to the enemies. His ultimate will basically deal wind damage equal to 200% of his attack to all enemies and give all 7 weaknesses to the enemies for 1 turn, which is called the sublimation state. If the enemies don't have control resistance, they will not be able to take action during sublimation state. When he uses his technique, enemies start running away from him. When these enemies are attacked, it will always be considered attacking them with their weakness. Upon entering the battle, the attacker's weakness will be applied to every target. According to his first bonus ability, Anaxa will ignore 4% defense with each weakness type an enemy has, which will be a pretty nice boost. According to his second ability, basically, if you have Anaxa on your team, his crit damage will increase by 140%, or when you have another Erudition character, it will increase the damage of all allies by 40%. According to his third bonus ability, he will regenerate extra 10 energy when he uses his basic attack, and if the enemies don't have Qualitative Disclosure, he will gain 40 energy immediately. E1 recovers a skill point when he uses his skill for the first time in the battle. His skill will reduce enemy defense by 16% for 2 turns. E2, when enemy targets enter the battle, triggers the talent's weakness implant effect 1 time and reduces their all-type resistance by 20%. E4 will increase his attack by 20% every time he uses his skill. It can stack up to 2 times and last for 2 turns. E6 will basically increase his damage depending on the sublimation state. Anaxa's signature Lightcone will obviously be his best in slot. It will basically increase his crit rate, energy regeneration, and defense reduction. It increases the wearer's crit rate by 18%. Wearer regenerates 10 energy at the start of the turn. When the wearer actively uses an ability, reduces the defense of enemy targets who get debuffed during the ability period by 6% for 2 turns, up to a max of 2 stacks. But if you are a free-to-play player, the Day the Cosmos Fell will be a great free-to-play option for you. It will increase his crit rate and attack. It increases the wearer's attack by 16%. When the wearer uses an attack and at least 2 attacked enemies have the corresponding weakness, the wearer's crit damage increases by 20%, lasting for 2 turns. Implanting weaknesses is part of Anaxa's kit, so he will have no problem using this Lightcone. For the next option, we have Cosmic Enterprise Lightcone. It will increase his attack and damage depending on the number of weaknesses on the enemies. It increases the wearer's attack by 8%. For every different weakness type an enemy target has, increases the damage wearers deal by 4%, up to a max of 7 weakness types. You can also use the Herta Lightcone on Anaxa if you want to. It will increase his overall damage. It increases the wearer's crit rate by 12%. When the wearer uses their ultimate, increases the wearer's skill damage and ultimate damage dealt by 60%, lasting for 3 turns. After the wearer uses their ultimate, if this ultimate consumed 140 or more energy, recovers 1 skill point. You can also use Eternal Calculus Lightcone on him, but I think his 4-star options will work pretty good. It increases the wearer's attack by 8% after using an attack for each enemy target hit. Additionally, increases attack by 4%. This effect can stack up to 5 times and last until the next attack. If there are 3 or more enemy targets hit, this unit's speed increases by 8%, lasting for 1 turn. Now let's talk about the main stats and substats you will need for his relics and ornament sets. For the main stats, focus on getting crit rate body, speed boots, wind damage boost orb, and energy regeneration rope. For the substats, focus on getting crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed. Now let's talk about his relic set option. I think Scholar Lost in Erudition will be a great option for him. It will increase his crit rate and damage. Its 2-piece set increases crit rate by 8%. Its 4-piece set increases damage dealt by skill and ultimate by 20%. After using ultimate, additionally increases the damage dealt by the next skill by 25%. You can also use the Pioneer set. Its 2-piece set increases damage dealt to enemies with debuffs by 12%. Its 4-piece increases crit rate by 4%. The wearer deals 8% to 12% increased crit damage to enemies with at least 2 to 3 debuffs. After the wearer inflicts a debuff on enemy targets, the mentioned effects increase by 100%, lasting for 1 turn. You can also use the Twilight set as an alternative. Its 2-piece increases wind damage by 10%. According to its 4-piece set, after the wearer uses their ultimate, their action is advanced forward by 25%. You can also use Genius of Brilliant Stars for decent amount of defense. Ignore. Its 2-piece set increases quantum damage by 10%, which is useless on him. According to its 4-piece set, when the wearer deals damage to the target enemy, ignores 10% defense. If the target enemy has quantum weakness, the wearer additionally ignores 10% defense. Now let's talk about his ornament options. Izumo's set will be a great option if you are pairing him with another Erudition character. Its 2-piece set increases the wearer's attack by 12%. When entering battle, if at least one teammate follows the same path as the wearer, then the wearer's crit rate increases by 12%. Rutilant Arena will be a more general option. It will increase the wearer's crit rate by 8%. When the wearer's current crit rate reaches 70% or higher, damage dealt by basic attack and skill increases by 20%. You can also use Glamoth set as an alternative option. It increases the wearer's attack by 12%. When the wearer's speed is equal to or higher than 135 or 160, the wearer deals 12% or 18% more damage. Sigonia set will be a great option for pure fiction. Its 2-piece set increases the wearer's crit rate by 4%. When an enemy target gets defeated, the wearer's crit damage increases by 4%, stacking up to 10 times. For his best teams, you can use him with the Herta. After version 4, Anaxa has become a pretty good unit, especially in terms of sub-DPS. You can use Tribi and Lingsha. You can use the best sustain you have. You can also use him with Jade and Robin. For free-to-play options, you can use Serval, RMC, and Jelliger. That's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one.